Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sincerely Spirit. I'm Erica VB, certified evidential medium, trained animal communicator, and intuitive oracle card reader. So I know in last week's video, in this episode and series, I had talked about going over crystals or ways to enhance your intuition, etc. But as I started to sit down and sort of plan out this episode, it came to my attention, excuse me, through spirit, that perhaps we're getting a little too far ahead, not too far ahead, but really, as we're learning about intuition and as we're learning about our energies and we're growing and developing in our spiritual sense, it's really important for us to have really good spiritual hygiene. And I don't necessarily think everybody sort of understands the importance of spiritual hygiene and or knows exactly how to do it for themselves. So there's many options that you can choose from. So I did think today would be a great way. This episode would be a good way to introduce you to spiritual hygiene, how you can do it, different ways you can do it, so that as you move through your development and your growth, you can start implementing these practices to keep your energy up, your vibration higher, and your energy clear. All right, so let's just sort of dive right in. So what we're first going to talk about is your energy field, right? So you'll hear the word aura a lot, A-U-R-A. And all that is that's your human energy field. It's the energy that you project out to others, okay? Or into your environment. Within that, there's the idea of prana, which means moving or breathing. So if you really wanted to delve into your aura, your human energy field, there's a lot of things that you can learn about with it. One of the books I recommend is The Power of Auras here. This has a lot of information in it about auras, about energy fields, what they look like, how they feel, things you can do to keep them cleansed, keep a higher vibration, ways to use your psychic intuition to feel into your energy field and feel into others' energy fields. Just make sure it's ethical. We don't want to go into other people's energy fields unbeknownst to them or without their permission, except, in your daily context, et cetera, things like that. So that's essentially what, when you hear the word energy, that's what they're talking about. It's sort of the vibe that you give out into your environment with other people and relations. So when you hear like, oh, that person had a great vibe or that person had a high vibe, that's what they're talking about. They were experiencing their energy that way. And in the spiritual community, the human energy field is known as aura. Okay. So when we move through our spiritual journey, and even if you're not on your spiritual journey, this is a great thing, practice for everybody to do. Cleansing the energy field is really important. Our energy fields soak in a lot of what we experience in our environment. So if you're around somebody who's negative all the time, you're soaking in that negativity. And if you're not cleansing your field, it's going to build and build and build. And then perhaps now you're starting to think negative, or bad things are starting to happen more often than not. Negative ideas are going through your head all the time. So those are just really primary examples of how somebody else's energy can influence our energy. And if we're not cleansing it and clearing it, it can really build up. Like, I hear the word calcify, like can calcify in our energy fields, and it can block the flow of good energy, if you will, where we want to be at that higher vibration. So ways you can cleanse your energy. One of the easiest ways, and that you're probably going to see a lot about or hear a lot about, is saging, okay? Or they call it smudging. So what are you doing when you're smudging? You're using incense to smoke out the area of the negativity, of the bad vibes, if you will. One of the big ones you'll hear about in terms of incense is saging. The only thing I say with saging is that it's a neutralizer. So it's going to remove all the positive energy and it's going to remove all the negative energy. So it's really just going to balance out the environment or the energy. So you think about saging, like when you have a big party, okay, and you have a lot of people over at your home, or you've gone to a party where there's a lot of energy, a lot of things going on. You want to neutralize that energy. So you're going to want to sage. Now, after you sage, it's a really good recommendation that you do something that you enjoy, something that brings you happiness, peace, calm, etc., however that unfolds for you, because we want to build up that good positive energy, right? We can stay balanced if you're comfortable in that, stay comfortable in that. The spiritual path and how you utilize it is always about what resonates with you, not with everybody else out in the world. Okay. So saging, smudging is a big, huge thing. I smudge my house on a regular basis, at least once a week. But I don't use sage all the time. I use sage maybe once a month, or if I have a big party, or I'm just feeling overwhelmed, overstressed, and I really just need to neutralize myself. I'm feeling out of whack a little bit. The one that I really like to use is called Palo Santo. And Palo Santo is works better just to remove negative energy. You'll find that throughout this process, things that you choose to utilize for your cleansing of your energy will have multiple purposes. Okay. So Palo Santo is one of those things, along with sage. They have multiple purposes. So it's not just about neutralizing the energy or just about negativity. So intentions are always very super important in your spiritual work as well. So you want to go in with the intention, if you're using sage, that you want to smudge out and neutralize the energy. Or for me, with the Palo Santo, I'm going in with the intention that I'm clearing all the negative energy from my energy field and from my environment that I live in. Okay. So that's one avenue you can take to cleanse your energy. It's called smudging. Another thing that you can utilize is called sound therapy. Now, there's multiple things under sound therapy that you can use. I prefer Hertz. So you can go on YouTube, or I know that there's machines out there that will play just pure Hertz, because there is some debates on whether the YouTube videos are actually uh, using the correct hertz. So there's different sound levels in the hertz. So like 432 is for grounding, and for then they have ones for removing negativity, ones for clearing out the energy in your home, ones for connecting with source. Do your research, see what you're comfortable with. The sound therapy is something that you like. If you already enjoy music as a way to relax, sound therapy might be something that you will find beneficial as well to cleanse your energy. There's also things called like sound baths, where they use singing bowls at different tones to clear out energy, clear out the negative, stagnant energy, and just sort of bring in a peaceful, more calm type of energy. You can buy your own sound bowls and test it out yourself, do some research on that. I know that there are places around here that you can actually go and get a sound bath session, if you will. Bells and gongs are also great ways. The vibration rings out the negative energy. Again, it's going to be about your intention. So if you're using a bell, before you use the bell, just say a quick intention. I'm using this to clear out the energy, to clear out the negative energy. I'm using this to bring in the positive energy. I always clear out my environment with the bell whenever I go into a reading or a session that I'm doing online. Because that really, yes, grab your coffees for this one. That makes me feel like I'm getting a little bit grounded. That gets me focused, a little bit more clear, and I feel like it clears out my energy. Clapping of the hands is another quick way if you're in an environment and you're just feeling really uncomfortable. I know it might look weird, but clapping is another way that you can also do a quick energy cleanse, if you will, from the environment that you're in. Salt water is also a great way to cleanse yourself too. So there's a reason why we all like to go to most people like to go to the ocean. The salt water in the ocean is a great way to cleanse not only some of the physical stuff that you're going on with your skin, but always consult with the doctor. I'm not a physician, but it also helps to cleanse out the energy. And the sound of the ocean, a lot say, follows the rhythm of life, or life's breath, Earth's movement, if you will. And so this is why it calms us and brings us more peace and calms us down. Crystals and stones are huge throughout the spiritual community. If you haven't run into it yet, you probably will eventually. So there are multiple types of crystals that you can use to keep your energy clean and protect you from negative energy coming in. Black tourmaline's a great one. Black onyx is another one. Amethyst is a great one. You'll see here I have peach moonstone, which I'm not quite sure what that is. I just wear it because I'm actually tracking a giraffe in Somali. But this is selenite, and selenite is really good for charging and cleansing other crystals, but it's also good for keeping your energy clean as well. Quartz is another one. Clear quartz is another one. But like I said, with the incense, the stones and the gems can all have multiple intentions attached to them. So when you get your own stone or gem, and we'll go over deeper in another video, another episode. When you get your stone or gem, you want to make sure that you are sending the intention to that gem or stone that you're utilizing this for protection, or that you're utilizing this to cleanse your aura field, your energy field, okay? So gems and stones, huge in the spiritual community. So, do your research, see what you're drawn to, see what resonates with you. You can wear them. So you'll see here, I have a black opal here, and I have a rudalized quartz here. So you can wear, and then of course my bracelets, you can wear them in earrings, necklaces, rings, and actually where you put them on your body makes a difference too. So do a little bit of research into that. Like I said, we'll go a little bit further. Left is to receive. So this is why my selenite is on my left side. I want to receive that cleansing. I want to receive that clearing of my energy. Right is to give off. So if somebody's coming to me for a session and I want them to have healing and feel safe, I might wear a green malachite. I think it's malachite. I'm not very good with gems and stones like that in the names. I'm going to put that on. It's a green gemstone. I'm going to put that on so that that person can feel that I'm here to help them, that I'm here to help heal them. Okay. So if you don't believe in crystals and gems or the powers of crystals and gems, then don't bother with it. Utilize what's going to resonate with you. Meditation and visualization is another great way to bring in that energy to help cleanse you and to protect you, because protection is also very important in your spiritual work and development um, as you move through your development. So what does I mean by visualization? It's exactly that. What I do is I sit and get into like a meditative state. However that unfolds for you. Not everybody can clear their mind completely. I don't clear my mind completely in meditation either. It's a false um, assumption to say, well, the only way you're meditating is if your mind goes completely blank. Some people can't do that. So there's techniques that you can use to get into a meditative state that just quiets your brain down enough to receive and visualize and get your heart rate calmed down, get your thoughts calmed down. But it essentially, what I do is I'll get into that meditative state. I'll pull in white light and I will surround myself in that white light. And as it's pouring down through my crown chakra, it's going down into all my chakras, which are energy centers in your body. And then I put it around my body, and then I cleanse it and I move it out and I give it to Mother Gaia to take. To turn it into something positive. So it's all about intentions and visualizing that white light coming down in through my system to cleanse me out. There are other different visualization techniques that you can utilize. Do your research, see what resonates with you. That's the one that I enjoy doing. There's also physical cleansing, physical movement. So dancing is one of them. Like one of my favorite things to do if I'm feeling really overwhelmed or overstressed. I'll dance. I'll put on my favorite music and I will dance and I will sing, and it really helps to de-stress me. Tai Chi is another form of movement. Qigong is another. Yoga. Those are all ways that are purposeful and intentional steps and movements that can help clear out the energy. Especially, of course, he's going to bark. Especially when you're really overwhelmed or really overstressed. Essential oils and aromatherapy are another way to clear out the energy, if you will. So you can either utilize it in one of those like humidifier type things. I'm not really sure what they're called. And then just choose the essential oil or the aromatherapy that is in conjunction to cleansing and clearing energy. I don't do aromatherapy or essential oils because I have animals, and not all of them are good for animals, and I don't have the time or patience to be researching every type of essential oil or aromatherapy. There are some that I use that I will put into my cleaning products that I know are animal safe. And then when I clean once a month, like do my deep, heavy cleaning, I utilize those to wipe down walls, clear the floors, just to add another layer of protection and cleansing. But overall, I don't tend to use essential oils or aromatherapies. So when do you want to do your cleansing? Well, as part of your spiritual practice, you wanted spiritual hygiene. It's like brushing your teeth, combing your hair, showering. Like this is something either you want to do every day, every other day, or at least once a week to cleanse and clear out the toxicities and negativity that you've encountered throughout your day or your week. When you're feeling if you don't have it as part of your normal spiritual hygiene, so when you're feeling overwhelmed, overtired, overstressed, that means that your body, your nervous system is at its capacity, and we need to release that. So my suggestion actually in that part, and I'm not a therapist or a physician or a life coach or any of that, but I know what works for me. And when I get to that point where I'm overwhelmed or overstressed, I am definitely going to utilize that dancing and singing and that meditative and visualization, because it's like mindfulness practice. It just pulls all of that out and really just makes me present and center. And that's also another thing to go over in terms of pulling ourselves back in and getting centered and clarity and focus for our spiritual um, experience as well. And that takes me into the grounding. So grounding is really just connecting your energy to Earth's energy. Okay. And there's multiple ways that we can do this, but it really helps us stay focused and keep clear. And also learn to read our bodies. And when we're like at that pivotal, oh, I'm way overstressed, before you get to that way overstressed point, right? Um, so ways that you can ground yourself. I'm sure you're going to hear about walking in nature. So nature is huge to receive our sort of electric energy, if you will. I don't really know how to put it in such a way that's the scientific way to say it. But grounding really helps to take your energy, put it into and connect with Earth's energy to get us more stabilized. Okay, it produces a stability within us. If you stay too much in the spiritual sense, because you're in the physical world, you're gonna feel more imbalanced, if you will. So we really want that balance of our spiritual experiences and of our grounding. Okay. So walking in nature is a great way to reconnect with Mother Earth and get yourself grounded and create some of that stability. And it's great exercise too, and it's fresh air. Well, as fresh as it's going to be. Some people lay on earth, so just laying on the ground and just sort of taking 10-15 minutes to really feel Mother Earth sort of wrap around you. So that's like a laying on the earth with the visualization. I've never tried that. I don't like bugs, so I'm not doing that. Conscious breathing, there's something called 4-7-8. So it's 4 breaths in, you hold it for 7 seconds. I'm sorry, it's breathing in for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 7 seconds, breathing out slowly for 8 seconds, and you repeat that 3 times. So there's other different ways that you can utilize the breathing technique. That's one of them, and that really helps, like if you're really overwhelmed or really stressed or feeling really high anxiety, this really helps to calm everything down and bring you back in. This is a great grounding technique for that high stress time that you may be experiencing. Plant yourself. Plant yourself is essentially, it's a visualization technique where you literally visualize roots, and I utilize this one too, coming out of your feet and going down into Mother Earth and collecting that energy and just pulling it back up and pulling it through your body. And I make sure I'm like into my cells too. So if you want to get pictures of what cells look like, how the body's nervous system is, where your veins are, arteries, etc., I really get those roots into there, especially if I haven't done it in a while. And I pull it up through my energy centers, up over my head, and through my chakra, my crown chakra, and out into, it connects with the white light. So everything's sort of, I'm coming up, I'm grounded, and I'm bringing it into my white light. So that's another technique that you can use to help ground yourself and get that stability that we need. Connecting to the body, I am going to look at notes. Oh, okay, that's the dancing, the Tai Chi, the Qigong, being mindful and aware of what's happening in your body. So like do a body scan every once in a while or once a week if you want to, as part of your grounding technique. That body scan is going to help, start from the top of your head. How does your scalp feel? How does your hair feel? How do your eyebrows feel? How do your eyes feel? How does your brain feel? Your nose, your mouth, your teeth, your ears. And just do like a body scan, and you'll be amazed at how much you're going to learn from actually taking that quiet time. It'll take about 10-15 minutes, that quiet time, to really go through each part of your body and how it feels. And then if you want to go even further into that, you can always research, okay, well, why do I have so much pain in my right hip other than physical reasons? But sometimes we carry emotional trauma in different parts of our body. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you could look into that as well. Grounding through the chakras too, which is part of what I was talking about with that visualization, where you put the roots down and you pull them up and you pull it through your chakras. I would definitely do a little bit of research on that if you are interested in also grounding that way. So that's sort of like some ideas that you can utilize for the cleansing of your energy and the grounding of yourself. So we definitely want to incorporate both of these practices in our spiritual practice. We want great spiritual hygiene as we move forward in our development and our growth. So if you have any questions, please make sure to put them in the appropriate social media area, or you can email me at ericasfrequency@gmail.com. I will put a list over here of where I am on social media. And where you, of course, the reminder of the email address. So that's it for today's episode on Sincerely Spirit. And this was all about your spiritual hygiene of cleansing your energy and grounding yourself so that when you move forward in your spiritual development, you are as solid as you can possibly be. Next week, we'll probably go over the different types of tools. It's my episode called This and That How To with Spiritual Tools. So we'll go over things like oracle cards and tarot cards. And a lot of those you can utilize to help enhance your intuition and psychic abilities as well. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.